Want the sauce? I just talked to God, he called me a boss. Too hard to fall off, too hard to fall off. Y'all got big talks, I got big walk. I ain't falling off, I ain't falling off. Y'all got big talks, I got big walk. I ain't falling off, I ain't falling off. But what you want?
Cool. What you want? Too hard to fall off. I ain't got. Hey, listen. Just wordplay, just rhyme schemes. I ain't think y'all understanding what's going on. I surprising y'all right now. I ain't even tell y'all I had some people coming in the building, but I know I had some people coming in the building. SHAD FER, Shiro the Fox, and the one and only Benji. Bang! See, I was say it like that, say something, you know, for the people.
But bang, bang, bang.
You see what they saying? What's going on with y'all today, man? How y'all doing today?
Man, I am fantastic. I hope you fantastic. It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to surprise y'all. We're going to try to keep this as entertaining as possible. I hope y'all was tuned in prior because the last two songs was songs by me. So it's an honor to be here with y'all with Benji. And yeah, man, we good.
What's been going on with y'all though? So first of all, I want to ask, let me ask Benji, how did this connect ended up happening? Because I got a little SHAD FER's like point of view, and I want to hear yours first and then hear SHAD's.
It was one day. Yeah, bless up 242. Big up, more 94. You don't know. Bahamian Trae. You don't know SHAD. It's one time I went by Studio Cafe. You know, Sawyer Boy is my friend, so I always go to try and check him out whenever he perform. Right. Show my support. I just always support and stuff. And then he came there one day. You know, he was doing some skits and some stuff, and just his energy and vibe. And then we spoke. You know, after a while we spoke, and I told him I produce music and stuff. He was like, send me some stuff, man. I was like, I do all different types of stuff. He was like, anything, soca, anything. I was like, okay, cool. There's a few times after I saw him perform different places, you know what I mean? Saw him on Facebook and Instagram, see him doing his thing. And one time I stopped by the Hookah Lounge, like 10-15 minutes before they shut down. And he was performing. Yeah. So I heard him on the mic whilst I was walking in. I was like, that's that guy again.
He playing it cool. First of all, he said I was doing little skits and stuff. This was grade A stand-up comedy. Comedy Thursdays by Studio Cafe, hosted by Sawyer Boy. Shout out to him. Yeah, he doing better. And
I see that.
Throughout this,
I'm doing better for real.
I gonna plug. I gonna say my number over and over in case y'all need to reach me for any of these things, because we do stand-up comedy. I just come from teaching some yoga. Get your free class. 801-2655 is how you can reach me. So Benji, when I first met him, because I hope for any artist listening, I just want them to understand that process of what has caused a record go from being in your mind to being out there, and that post-release. So pre-release, like Benji said, he met me at Comedy Thursdays, right? And I can't remember if Sawyer Boy introduced us or if we just started to talk, but once I understood who he was, because I hear his song a lot, especially I work as a pirate on a pirate ship, right?
Yeah,
on the
I remember. Your clip went viral on Twitter when you was talking about the what is the name of the ship you said it was?
The name is the Blackbeard's Revenge. Me name be Barnaby Blue Bones, right?
That's it right.
You can catch me at Fusion today, being a pirate holding swords and guns in front of innocent faces. But either way, so yeah. I heard his song all the time. I was like, wait, Benji is le bum bum, le bum badum, le bum, and I love that song. And that song that is get girls hype, that is get the whole party going. So once I heard it was him, see, because you could relate, Trey, as an artist, you could hear when another artist has that air.
Yeah.
When they know how to write and structure a song properly, because some people stumble across a hit.
What you mean by stumble across a hit?
When I say that, I mean you have some people, see, because a hit is a component of what I think is about three things. One is musicality. The music have to make sense. Right. And then two, the timing, the moment have to be right. So it got to be the right genre at the right time. But then three is just magic. God, something magical that is just make it hit the way it's supposed to. And sometimes people have not that much musicality, not that great with the timing, but they have all the magic. And so if you have magic, you could get a hit. But then a lot of times they can't repeat that process because unlike the musicality and the timing, the magic is way out of your control. That's something different. That comes from a higher power.
Real higher power. That's the only thing I was thinking about.
Exactly.
Higher power.
And most artists could relate to that. Like when you ask how that happened, or even if we look at something like Muggle, like first it was in your control, and then it just had a life of its own.
Real.
And so artists do that, but they can't repeat that. When I heard Lay Bam Bam, I knew I could just hear from just my experience as a songwriter, I know someone who know how to repeat that. And then when I heard he produced it too, that was crazy.
And I know someone like you takes appreciation for artists who have the I guess you could say almost like the full package, where you know you are not just all right, I can go into the studio and record, but you have the theory and all of these things behind that to back it.
I love it because I believe that's so important for music. I was just talking to someone the other day because I teach little vocal lessons on the side, you see. Like I said, 801-265-5.
This way got put out a portfolio, but take us a general science textbook.
Bro, trust me, you gotta stay busy. Like I like to hustle. And so during that lesson though, I was telling him that when it comes to being a good artist, you have a lot of Bahamian artists who like, man, I want to be a big rapper. I want to be the best I could be. Sorry for the Nato accent. That's just my stereotype.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And it ain't that I don't believe in people when they say that, right? But you can't just go off of your talent. Talent alone is not enough to succeed in any industry.
So what else is required?
Talent gets you so far, right? But even you could look at Usain Bolt, you could look at even Michael Jackson, you could look at anyone who was born with talent, and you would find that eventually their talent hit a ceiling and then it was just work. From talent, you have to actually study. You have to actually work. And so when I see an artist that writes songs, that knows how to record, that knows how to produce, and I only met them as a singer or a rapper or something like that, that amazes me because then I could tell, okay, you had
a sense of discipline that they have to be able to do all of that.
You had the discipline to know I need to work on top of my talent to stand out. And like Benji said, so after we met at Comedy Thursday, and this what I think is a big deal. Sometimes you meet an artist once and you're like, Mom, baby, let's work. Or trade us you, but we gotta work. But
last scene.
Exactly. You never see them again.
Never happen.
They never send you nothing, right? But then I think what's important is that second meeting when they realize you still working. Like he met me doing stand-up comedy, and like he said, he was driving past the hookah lounge on Gladstone Road. He didn't even see me. He heard me because he had never seen me do music. He heard me, and I sure it was the song that just played last, most likely, or say it to my face. It was Big Walk, and I'm like, you don't get it, eh, boy? Baby, I better than great. Put in way more than 8 hours a day. If it's hate, I can't help what you say. Let me get on the track with Lil Wayne, Eminem, or Jay-Z, or Kendrick, or Drake. Tell him it's SHAD FER Benjhe on 194 with Bahamian Trae. Like, yeah, no.
Y'all ain't see the freestyle.
Yeah, they don't. But yeah, so he heard that, right? And he like, oh shoot, this that guy? And then I tell him again. I was like, boy, I am not joking. We need to work. Let's work. And that night, he sent me the same beat for the song we about to play here for the first time. And from I heard that, I was like, boy, this is magic. Even without me on it, without a vocalist on it, I already hear the magic. And all I have to do, like I told Benji too, like, when you get a beat like that, your only job, don't screw it up. Don't mess it up. That's the simple job, right? So
I see what you see.
Later, I'm performing for this. I realized I had a performance for a National Heroes Day event that's going to be October 10th on TV, and I needed a song, and I still hadn't figured out what lyrics I wanted to put for this song. I just knew I had the Awayawaya, because originally it was about kind of feeling as though, you know how when you a Bahamian artist and you talented, right? Or a Bahamian anything, unfortunately we deal with, one of the first things people tell you is, man, you got to get out of the Bahamas.
Yeah.
For years, I used to hate that.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to have to leave the country to be a success. I didn't want that to be what makes or breaks you.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that. I don't like that because I think Bahamians are great tastemakers. And I think the artists and entertainers and talent here have the ability to succeed here. It's just that a lot of times we just missing a couple of puzzle pieces to bring it all together. So
and I think Benji
yeah.
would be a good one to have this conversation with too, seeing that you're also from St. Lucia, and it was at a point in time where you lived there, and then you came back here to continue to pursue music, right, Benji?
Yeah, it was
Tell us about that whole process.
that process was, you know, I grew up here. You know, my mom lives there. My mom been living there for like 30-something years. So I went to LW Young.
Cool.
Nice.
You was been here
you
making
Bahamian
I grew up in
and
Camp.
you probably showed plenty rock at my school, Charles and Sanders there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up in Camp Road.
Okay.
You know, I went to LW Young till grade 11. Then I went back home. 10 years after, I came back to surprise my mom for her birthday. Then I met Obi. But my mom been telling Obi she got a son that does music back home and stuff, but he didn't know. Like, I mean,
That's
He's
awesome.
he's selling himself short though, cause what Benji's like, yeah, I was doing a little this and a little that, but no, like he
I know a
is
lot of
playing
work you
stuff.
put into.
He is playing stuff, and the second you hear it, you like, boy, this ain't a little nothingness. It's big.
So how long can you say that it has been spanned for your music career when you started to take it seriously and put in the time and the work and learning all the stuff that you know now? Because you're a producer, artist, and you're a musician, right? Because I remember when we was doing the, was it the Bahamian Icon Awards?
yeah.
And you played a little while we was there practicing
drums,
too. So
drums is my first thing.
And you started your whole musical career when? When did that begin?
I started my drumming career actually in the Bahamas in an LW Young in the marching band.
Shout out to LW Young.
Yes, they big up to L for real.
And school music
you know,
programs,
Ian
you know.
Justillion and Synovia Pierre was head in the choir.
Wow.
Justillion,
See,
yeah.
and what I love is that, you know, we think about how small our country is, but look at how small the country is on a real level and how people are able to pour into others, because the fact that you're here and, you know what I mean, pouring into another artist, I find that so amazing, bro, and I find that to be something to really commend.
Yeah, well, it's that's just the way it has to be done, you know. We each one teach one. We got to learn from each other, you know, and strength, you know, joy. When you give people joy and strength, you only strengthen yourself automatically. Even if you do it for that or you don't do it for that, it's still gonna happen. You know, it's just my vibe, knowing that you can do it and trying to do more. You know, just by doing that with him, it could confirm that I can do it, and I just do more and more and more. You know what I mean? And then it's gonna, you know what I mean, unlock chambers in my brain and in my mind to do more and do more and do more. So it's not a fight. It's just a flow.
It's not a fight.
It's not a fight.
It's just a flow. Away. We're gonna blaze off that tune in a second and gonna talk more about these things in a second. But what we could do, we could blaze off this tune from the Rika Twins and Benji. This Ayakere Soca.
Facebook, public tell them. 94, Bahamian Trae. Bang!
Well, first of all, just piggybacking off of what he described with the other process, with the
Like
other
pre-chorus,
rhythm. Not even just that, the fact that he still sends rhythms to multiple artists, which I think is cool, because I just missed that era of Jamaican music. Remember, you saw me talking about how Vibes Cartel kill
Yeah.
what
bro.
rhythm I was talking?
I think it was She
She
Holding
Holding
On and we do our shows, we do.
Yeah.
I think that was that same. I think
I
that's
don't
the
know
one.
why I forgetting the rhythm now, but I love that rhythm, and I used to love hearing Jamaican artists do that, like especially on culture songs and stuff, like hearing just multiple artists hear the same thing, but make so like this wide spectrum of
2 big hits.
exactly multiple hits, and so that's what Benji does. And so with this track, right, like I said, when I first heard it, I already had that away concept of getting away from the Bahamas, right? But I didn't want it to be just that. Like, it felt too
Going on about getting away.
yeah, not even that. Like that's hilarious. Sing that like a cartoon. But no, like I imagined it more like I didn't want to have a song playing on Bahamian radio about Bahamians escaping in order to be happy and stuff like that. Just didn't sit right with me. So when the National Heroes Day thing came up, the second I realized they would let me perform a song, I was like, this is the perfect opportunity to write this. And so this song then became all about how you could be a hero without you don't need superpowers. That's the first line of the song, but for real, like, you never know. Your words alone, someone could be having the worst day of their life, and you say just one thing to them about something they felt so insecure about, and they didn't tell you they were insecure about it, but you just tell them about it like, oh,
yeah, but your shoes look solid today.
yeah, but your hair look great, like something like that, right? And you don't know, like, that person may have had chemotherapy and their hair just start growing back. I'm sorry to make y'all laugh during this part, but like, yeah, something like that, and they needed to hear that, and you changed the whole week for them. And so in that way, you're a hero. If you were just a regular father or a regular mother in the Bahamas and you work in your 9 to 5, and because of you, your children, they know they have lunch money for school. They know that they, yeah, because even I never do this, and I don't do it enough. But yeah, shout out to my parents, because I know they listening, and to me, they are heroes because they just always did things with ethics and with morals. And if you doing that, if you making the world and making life better for someone else, especially someone else that just don't have the power to do it for themselves, you a hero. So that's how the lyrics, basically, from once I understood the concept, the lyrics wrote themselves. I sent it as a little voice note on Instagram to Benji. When Benji heard it, he said, yeah, Benji, anyone who know Benji, you have a catchphrase, mad. Yeah! Mad. That's how you know it's true. That's how you know. Mad.
Yeah.
And this ain't no regular mad. This all caps. Like every time you see it, you can hear mad. And so he said that. And then my favorite thing, right? Because especially as a songwriter, right? Like, I don't mind working with other songwriters and other musicians. Because I told Benji, listen, because you made this beat, if you ain't satisfied with what I sent you so far with this demo, let me know. Because, exactly, for real, give me the harsh criticism, because I don't like making songs and the producer don't like it. That don't sit well with me. When the producer love it, if no one else love it, if the person who make the beat satisfied, that makes me happy. And so when he told me there was nothing to change, and then he heard the final version, I recorded it by OEU Studios.
Shout out Jordan,
yeah, shout out Kevin, shout out Jordan. I recorded it there, but then Benji put me on to his engineer that he works with, Minor. And
from St. Lucia.
Minor from St. Lucia. This dude is amazing, and he works so fast, and that was a blessing. And I just love that they didn't make me change my lyrics, they didn't make me change my melodies. No, because I'm willing to do it, right? But I only like to make changes when they necessary. And it made me very happy to know that Benji heard it, and he heard what I was doing with it, and he understood, no, this is exactly what it should be. And then he just helped me to add the seasoning to it to make it.
Just being on the same page was a comfortable vibe.
Yeah, and we work so fast, and just like Benji said, like, he'll go off a vibe, like, and I the same way, your vibe alone, just like how I say, you could hear someone in here when they have the air. The vibe matters so much in music, because you could be stuck in the studio or stuck with someone trying to get something done, and this can't be someone with a big ego or someone who love to disagree or with no purpose. Now, disagreeing with a purpose is cool, offer criticism, but if you just disagreeing to make it harder, like, ain't nobody gonna like
I don't like that sound.
Ain't nobody gonna want to work
Less
with
macaroni.
Exactly.
More cheese.
More cheese and macaroni.
Yeah, R.I.P. to her.
I hate macaroni and
the voice
cheese.
of Muriel. Yeah, but shout out Courage the Cowardly Dog. But yeah, so that's what I like, is that off a vibe alone. And then once the record was really, really done, Minor sent in the final version, and they let me say, like, the kinds of changes I wanted as far as the mixing and mastering. I met Benji over by his place, and we were just playing it on the speaker, and then this is how I know it's a real vibe. It ain't a true vibe with me with an artist until a beat cut on and we freestyle and we just spit, and we did that, and Benji was freestyling, I was freestyling, we was chopping it up, hearing beats and stuff. And when the vibe feels right, like I say, like, I remember Quincy Jones have this saying, the music, when God leaves the room, so does the music. Something along that line. So I paraphrase it. So when you enter a studio or a situation where you're trying to make music for the world, you have to invite that good energy, and you have to invite the spirit, the divine, because think about it, this is something that's playing across the airwaves. Y'all don't know where, some of y'all don't know where I recorded this, some of y'all don't know what I look like, but this sound is gonna enter into the airwaves, and it's gonna affect how you feel. You're gonna hear it with your kids or with your spouse or with your little thing, it don't matter. But yeah, and that's gonna affect how you feel. And there's something spiritual, something magical about that. So you can't leave that out when you're making the music. And so that's how this record came about.
You agree, Benji?
Yeah, definitely, man. That's how I roll. It's just energy. It's not a fight. It's just
flow.
Yeah.
Hey, but you need to throw that on a shirt, bro.
Not
That's
a fight.
so bad, right?
Yeah,
Flow.
That's so bad. But hey, might as well we just blaze off the tune for y'all because I ain't ready to hear it again. I didn't hear it because you know we get the little exclusive. But y'all ready to hear this tune right here?
Hold on. Let us set it off right. Y'all gotta know the name is Awayawaya. You probably ain't gonna be able to spell it. That's alright. But Awayawaya by SHAD FER, SHAD space FER. Produced by Benje, BENJE, and my number is 801-2655. If you need me for anything, it's called Awayawaya. You could find it on all streaming platforms. Please turn your radios up on More 94.
Bang! Start the new music now. Only on
Don't forget
More
to mention
94.
you have a performance coming. I will.
Don't need no superpowers to be a hero. Ain't gotta make a burning day. Ain't gotta smile when you know that you feel low. It's hard to fly without a day. And everybody can call somebody, and that's somebody who never knew they'd be a hero just like you. Work your hardest to get as far as the sun, the stars, and the moon. Never easy, but the real dreams you got to save the world to prove that you're special. It's hard enough to save yourself. Extraordinary, like an extraterrestrial, to rescue and natural. Everybody can call somebody, get us somebody who never knew they were a hero just like you. Work hard to get as far as the sun, the stars, and the moon. Never easy, but the real dreams will come true. We all could use some saving. You might be my hero. We all could use some saving. But everybody can call somebody, get us somebody who never knew they were a hero just like you. Work your hardest to get as far as the sun, the stars, and the moon. Never easy, but the real dreams do come true.
More entertainment is always right here on More 94. I want to hear something from you and then you about Bahamian music, right? Because I hear you speaking so passionately about us not having to move away and these kind of things in order to be our best version of ourselves. So I want to hear what you have to say from your perspective, and then I go to Benji because you can see how this all ties together. Go ahead.
Sure. So, by the way, this is SHAD FER, SHAD space FER. You're listening on More 94 with Bahamian Trae and my boy Benji. You can find me at 801-2655. Now, see, my whole thing with it is that let's say just on a marketing and branding standpoint, right? People think that Bahamians can't be successful here, right? And I hate to say this because I know a lot of people think they could just debunk this argument, but why could Migos come here? Why could Roddy Ricch come here? Why could Lil Baby come here? Rod Wave. And on both Grand Bahama and Nassau sell out. They sell out. They show their videos of the crowd that shows up, and it's full of Bahamians who singing their songs back, Buju. Like, it don't matter. And that's an older generation just ready to go all out for these artists, right? And I think it has a lot to do with perception. The problem is, like, when you're so close to artists on this small island and people see your come up and they see your mistakes and they see when you shining and they see when you down and they feel like they know you, it's harder for them to want to treat you like a star or to pay for you or whatever like that. And I understand that, but that's what inspired me. That makes me go so hard because I know I like to give people no choice. If you could still act cool in the room when I play my music or I act in a show or I perform, that's just me. I gotta work harder because I want my product to be so good that people lose their cool for a second. They forget that they was trying to act all serious, because you know how Bahamians go. Like, they just look at you like, you remember Simon Cowell in the first few seasons of American Idol?
You mean Simon Cowell in the entire life that he's ever lived?
Are you sure you want to be a singer? Because that sounded like a cat killing itself. That kind of stuff, they give you that look, and it's like, boy, why are you trying so hard to dislike me? But then at the same time, it's like, yeah, boy, hate me because I about to play the song and I about to not care how you feel because I gonna give wholeheartedly into the passion, and I want you to lose yourself too. So that's on the marketing and branding side. I think a lot of Bahamians, the ones who have great music, I notice they don't interact as much on social media. They don't put out a lot of music videos. They don't put out a lot of professional photography. And they also don't network with the people who could connect them to these opportunities, the promoters, the venue owners,
or even just other artists.
Other artists, the managers, because you gotta understand too, like, the artist who you think is small right now, who you see in the room, who have the talent but don't have the clout, you could collaborate with him right now and you may be getting a feature from the next Drake. You don't even know. And you going off of popularity right now, when popularity in this era is something that's manufactured. People paying for popularity and making it happen through ways that ain't organic. What matters most is that quality, that feeling at first. And a lot of artists here have that quality. Once they learn the business, I think you could, I 100% think, I know you could be successful here. The only difference is, I feel, as a Bahamian, unfortunately, Lil Baby could get away with having, let's say, an okay track, right? Because he's gonna get a lot of radio spins. He's gonna get a lot of popularity. He could put out a music video, a 1-minute music video, just, and don't get me wrong, I like Lil Baby, but that could get 1 million views naturally because he already there.
Yeah.
You as a Bahamian artist have to accept you gotta go way beyond what is considered good, and that's a good thing because when the international people hear you and see all that work,
it's a standard.
They are amazed. They're like, how are you not huge already? Like me, I already have hundreds of songs just from working and working and working and having these moments. And I love that. I want y'all to criticize me. I want y'all to stare at me when y'all don't like something because it's not going to break me. It's going to make me go harder and harder and harder. And I think that's happening right now with a lot of artists. So you could make it in the Bahamas, but you just have to focus, put in that work and learn how to attach the business to your art. Don't just focus on being a great artist. There's no such thing as selling out. You want to make money. Everyone who's complaining about selling out is the same person that would love to be in the position of someone like a Drake or a Cardi B or anything like that. Selling out is when you give up your integrity, your morals, your soul for money. And you could do that in any way. It don't have to be music. But when you stick to what you love and stick to your truth and you learn how to make money from that, then that's a powerful thing.
Got you.
So that's my answer on that. Any of us could do it.
Nah, I see what you're saying. So Benji, how instrumental would you say it was for you seeing that St. Lucia is like this little hub when it comes to the music, and them having a presence in the soca genre right now as well. I mean, you guys having this presence in the soca genre as well. How important would you say it was for you at that time, moving to St. Lucia, being over there, putting in the work, I guess, networking as well, and then learning more stuff and all of these kind of things? Like, how important do you think that was in your process, in your career?
I mean, it's very important, and we still got far to go, you know. And I just gotta say, I'm inspired by a lot of great people, and you know, especially one of them being Sir Franklin Wilson, who I look up to, you know, and the whole family, where you know they started off, you know, with nothing, and they worked so hard to achieve greatness. When it looks like they're there yet, but they're still the first to work, the last to leave. So it put me in a position to be like, it's not about talk, it's about hard work, you know. And it's a lot of work, it's a lot of sacrifice, and sacrifice is the most important word. You know, sacrifice is not fun.
So how was your work ethic when it came to, you know, your career, and how you got to this point now, being the writer, producer, artist, and all of these things?
You see, I just kept studying the art form. You know, I respect music, so you know that's the most important thing. When you respect music, you know, it's something you gotta go through. You know, so I am the one to pay to go to the soca fets in general and look at the artists perform. I spend thousands of dollars to go to Dominica, to go to many places to perform, to just watch the artists perform, because I want to know how it feels like when people are gonna pay to come and see me perform.
You learn a lot from that.
Wow.
You know? So then, you know, the artists and them being seeing me all over the world, thinking like, how can he be all these places, until we became friends, you know, with guys like Lyrical, Ricardo Drew, and they never heard my tracks. It's just my energy that they would see me in these places where I would spend my last dollar to be there. But then again, it's the sacrifice, and then it's just the job, what I recognize had to be done, so I could learn. You know, I met new people, you know, I learned new stuff, so I just keep moving on from that, and I just keep, you know, invested in trying to learn whatever format I got presented for me, you know what I mean, and just keep working. You know, it's a lot of work, you know. So I started off as a drummer, but singing was my main thing. I was only afraid of singing motorbikes and snakes, so I overcame the motorbikes and the singing. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, that was it. It's just attacking my fears and just you know, just getting better, knowing that it's possible.
I see what you're saying.
Use my energy, use the energy, as opposed to bash people, to see if I could help people. You understand?
That's an important
really
key he
respect.
just dropped there, you know.
see?
Like, stop thinking you too good to continue getting better.
Real.
That is make the biggest difference.
So that's me.
Yeah.
So, you know, watching him and when working with them, you know, it's just for me, it's just like more power, more strength.
Right.
It just makes me
Iron sharpen iron type of way.
yeah, it makes me do more, you know what I mean? Makes me go harder, makes me, you know, then working with him, then sending it to my engineer in St. Lucia, networking him, because the engineer was like, yo, I like this guys from the Bahamas, the way they write.
Yeah.
I want to work with them. I was like, that's why I said it to
And
you.
even just hearing his engineer, because how I engineer a lot of my stuff too, but not on his level. Just hearing,
You're learning something.
I learned just from listening to the stuff he did, and that's powerful though.
Yeah,
see what you're saying.
because as I say, when you respect the art form, when you respect the energy, it's just a
You
flow.
can appreciate it.
You know, you just pick up everything that's presented right in front of you.
I got another question for you, Benji. I just asked someone this the other day. What is your critique as a producer on Rake and Scrape? If you could have said, if you could have improved something, you know, from the instrumentation to the lyrics, whatever it be, what would you critique about Rake and Scrape that you say, you know, you think this about it could be better?
Wait, before you start, I just want a little crumb at the end of answering this question.
Got you.
You could have the whole slice of bread. I just want a little crumb off the crust. Yeah, respect.
Rake and Scrape music is definitely, you know, I love Bahamian music. I grew up with a jungle on Rake and Scrape.
Right.
It's definitely a lot of different calibers of Rake and Scrape music in the Bahamas.
Right.
You know, from upcoming producers, from producers in Inagua, with the type of, you see, the equipment. It's a lot of stuff to get the quality. You know what I mean? When you look at, just pick sense out of nonsense. Like, why would Will Smith and Mick Millie and them try to use the studio in Life with Key.
And
Albany, is it because it's fun? Is it because they're still trying to show off?
Nope.
Because you don't
Because
even
it's the best in the world.
Yes, and you don't even know when they're there. It's just about the quality is very important.
I believe Drake just did CLB down there.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
not the
telling
whole
you.
thing, but definitely
Jaden Smith.
some records.
That's just to name a few.
Yeah, there's some Bahamian students in.
That's just to name a few. What I was
Yeah.
trying to say is, quality is very important now. With respect, that's why I never bash young artists, because I know where you are on the ladder. That's why I could work with you, because I could help you. I could see that, yo, you're doing this wrong. Put this part here. Sing this part twice. You know, I'm not gonna just discard everything you do if I can't help you. You understand? So it's like quality is important, and as you say, you're not gonna hang a new producer from Inago on a cross where he just have a little keyboard player and he managed to connect it to his laptop and stuff, and then try to bash Rick and Scrape.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that is out of that's out of the bracket. Now when you talk like guys like D-Mark and them not doing it, you know, you talk like Rick Curry with Cupid, where he got this part, the guitarist playing the guitars and stuff. You know, that's some good quality stuff, but a lot of stuff, when you look at the industry, it's a lot of teamwork. I could mix and master myself. I could do everything, but I choose not to because I respect the art form. I respect that this guy spend more time in mixing than me. But I know what I want. So if I let him be the professional mix engineer and I step back, then
everybody can play their role.
I could hate from a different angle, but then I could say, yo, I want more of this and more of that, and then we could go back and forth because he has sense. He could be like, yo, I know you want this, you know, but I think it would have been better if we just got a little more. That's the type of people I work with because we always work to get it better. We just don't feel like, oh, I can't talk to the engineer, or you know, the artist cannot tell me, yo, Benji, I wish that delay was off my voice at 0.2 seconds. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just
collaboration.
It's collab. But going back to the Rick and Scrape music and the quality, as I'm saying, when you're talking about the top music, I mean, it's the tonnage, you know. Definitely Rick Curry. A lot of the Bahamian producers has good quality, but it's just, you know, the mixing and mastering to get it to the next level.
You feel
like
that?
In particular, okay. You know, and not be afraid to add certain
bend it, right?
Tones in there to strengthen it. You know, because when it comes to like a lot of rap music, a lot of music with live drums, the major engineers do a lot of layering. You would send them a kick, but because you pay them $10,000 to get the song mixed and mastered, or $4,000, they would actually know that this kick is a little weak, you know. I'm gonna layer this kick with this big heavy kick I got here, and then, you know, this bass is a little thin. I'm gonna double the bass, take out some of the trem, and put it together, and they would go the extra mile
to make
the record.
Yeah, Rake and Scrape, people, Bahamians underestimate, because we grew up on it. We sleep on how expensive Rake and Scrape is in the studio, because that's a full band that have to get mixed. You can't just go on Fruity Loops or go